mission. We are joined by the one and only, the king of slap, the factory or nothing's own, very own, Charley Goo. Charley Goo, thank you for coming in with me today.
Yeah, it's me. Yeah,
hey, how you doing, man?
What's happening, man? It's a pleasure to be here.
I see you got the gold top tens on. I'll take that as a sign of respect to the show, to the mission, that we wore the gold, the C3PO top tens. And
socks on too. C3PO.
Just matching, just coordination. Shout out to Pops. They call that coordinate. You got to coordinate. You got to coordinate. I got my notes here at the mission. We're talking to Charley Goo. This is the mission on site, a new situation, a new feature of the show where we venture out, get out of the lab. We go to where the artists actually do their thing at. Fortunately, this has been ordained by Yo Westwood and the Factory or Nothing Music Group. And we're talking to one of their prominent artists, getting ready to release a brand new project in the new year called Poverty Stricken. Poverty Stricken. I want to say that completely correct. Charley Goo, on site, on the mission. How you doing today, bro?
I'm alive, man. Ain't dead above ground. It's a good day.
That's a good day. I like your perspective. I usually offer several beverages. I brought nothing but blueberries today, as we are at the factory. Would you like a blueberry, Mr.
You know
Yo?
what?
I figure you might take one.
That's why the mayor one first.
That's why the mayor's lingering around.
The mayor get one first.
It's been ordained by him, so we make sure he gets one.
The mayor get one first. You know what I'm saying? I ain't made it that far.
While you're cracking your beer, I ask you some quick questions before we get into this. Blunt, paper, or a good book? Or both, if you like.
Give me the blunt, the book.
You smoke blunts and books. Okay.
I've been smoking blunts from the beginning.
You never stopped. I used to smoke a lot of blunts. I don't smoke cigarettes, so at a certain point I stopped smoking blunts and just got tobacco out the way. But I do hit a blunt every now and then. It is a bit of a different high when it's rolled in the tobacco leaf. Sativa, indica, hybrid, or I don't give a fuck?
I don't give a fuck.
You don't really care.
I smoke.
I got you. Smoke whatever.
Yeah, I smoke.
Beer, liquor, or water? As you sip one of those sweet blueberries.
Anything.
Anything. You're a drinker and a smoker.
Both.
A man of standards. Smoke or drink anything, ladies.
Yes.
Pork, beef.
Besides crack.
Pork, no crack. Say no to crack. The old heads know from the 80s. We say no to crack.
Yeah, we don't do that.
I have friends at home. They like Coke and cocaine, not the soft drink.
I never powder my biscuit.
But I must say I've experienced them when there's no Coke around. They have hit the crack before. So say no to all of that. Would be my recommendation.
Nose too big.
Beef. This takes a budget.
Yeah.
Sniff Coke with a nose like yours. It takes a budget. You gotta have a certain amount of money.
I owe a motherfucker for a table and
a certain amount of money. I mean, you could lose. I'm looking at it now. I didn't notice, but now that you mention it, you could lose a couple grams and then not notice.
You know what I'm saying?
You could lose a couple grams now.
I stashed something in there before.
I bet you.
I'm not gonna do that.
You brought it back out for the homies.
Damn, here you go.
Got that fire. Beef, pork, or fish taco?
I'm gonna go with beef.
Beef, it's a good choice. I'm old school. I didn't know they had fish or pork tacos until I moved out west. Back in Virginia, all they offered was beef
The
tacos.
only fish taco I ever ate was laying down in the bed.
I got you. That authentic, that real taco.
Too much batter for me.
Too much batter.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got you. Did you? I know you're originally from Detroit. When did you move to Phoenix?
1990. July 4th, 1990.
1990, which would put you as a teenager, I think, right?
Yeah.
So you moved out here as a teenager.
Yeah.
How intense was life? We were talking to Big Doobie, and he moved from Detroit to Arizona as well, much like you. He was a little bit older. It was a huge transition for him. How much of a transition was it for you to come from Detroit to Arizona? Because as we talked about, the landscape is different. The population of the people is very different. Getting to know Native American culture can be different. The whiteness of the white people here can be different. There's a certain level of whiteness that's achieved here. I don't think everybody in the country gets a hold of, especially in Scottsdale. How was your transition?
The biggest issue for me was culture shock. Like, when I got here in the 90s, it was cracking. So, I was seeing black folks not stick together at all. Detroit is grimy as fuck, don't get me wrong, but it's only black and white. And then I'd never seen a Mexican before in my life, never. I had a homie named Francisco.
You did know some white folks in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, plenty of. My mama owned a barbershop, so I knew.
And they could cut white hair?
My mama cut anything.
That's impressive to me.
Beautician.
The barbershop in my neighborhood had a very hard time cutting fades, specifically on white guys, because of the thin hair and they weren't used to it. So they advised the white fellas that they didn't look good with fades. And then they would give them a little edge up around.
Somebody didn't tell third base in them neck.
Nah. Well, they were in New York. They're better barbers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And Search has that Jewish fro. His hair has a thickness to it.
He got some curl to it.
You know, the Jewish people are related to black people somewhere along the way. I know they try to run from that, but that's where that comes from. I think. I'm not sure.
We are related.
Solomon was black. He's in the Bible. That was a long time ago. So I would have to think if you're claiming the Jewish religion, you might have to come to grips with that. But I don't know. But at the end of the day, very good fadeable hair for the Jewish people.
What I would say on that, to elaborate on that a little bit bigger, is if you believe in the Bible, Adam and Eve, we all come from them. So if they started everything, then God just had Easter and colored us all so he could tell us apart.
Right.
You know what I mean, that's it. So we all come from
Yeah.
nobody's.
There's science to all that. We like to just argue with each other and forget about all the science. But I appreciate you had
argue with yo.
I appreciate you just argue with yo.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you had some white friends in Detroit. What part of Detroit? Because Big Doobie, strangely enough, had never seen white people like they were ancient until he had got to AZ. And
I understand that.
That would blow my mind to all of a sudden discover any other group of people at a certain age. Fortunately, I grew up around black people and a few Asians. And so I just have to learn Native and Mexican culture. I'm pretty up to date with other cultures.
Yeah, see, with me, I grew up on Dexter and Glen. That's a predominantly black area.
But you mentioned the barbershop is where you ran into white folks.
My mom ran a barbershop. With my uncle George, and my mom had money, so we moved. You know, to Grandma by Stoker Park #2. My house is right across the street from a park. You know what I mean? So we had money. My best friend was white and retarded at the time. You know what I mean? So I got paid to go to school. You know, my mom.
That's not the same thing, just for y'all listening out there.
But
that's two different things, white and retarded.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. When you say retarded, he was seriously like Down syndrome or just crazy? What type of retarded do you mean?
He was like a praying mantis.
Oh, okay.
Like, Danny. His name is Danny.
Okay.
But
that's sweet of you.
Yeah.
That
was the homie.
Okay.
You know what I mean, that was the homie until he started doing some weird shit. But
right.
he was the homie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that was the homie.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah, if he's still alive. Yeah, real shit.
R.I.P. if not.
Yeah, but that's why I ran into white people, and then I went to Berea Lutheran. So my mom paid for me to go to like first, second, third, fourth. Fourth grade shit. So, then my mom also took me to just about every church or religious place you go to, synagogues, mosques, everything, because she wanted me to know everything and judge for myself. So
that's a huge positive, I think. I was forced to go to one church, which was Southern Baptist, and they were telling me, I couldn't jerk off and who the fuck and all that kind of shit. It was crazy.
They doing it.
Oh yeah,
you go to pastor, you in there a little bit too long. God damn it, Sister Bobby.
Yeah, we didn't have that guy. We had a pastor that couldn't accept the fact he had a pastor that had a lesbian daughter. So that kind of fucked with his head, if you understand. He was
pastors got the freakiest daughters.
Yeah, pastors. I brought that up with Big Doobie. The most troublemakers in my area were the police's children and the pastor's children.
Yeah, pastors got some nasty ass daughters. I'm not gonna be a pastor.
Yeah, no.
I got.
It's a lot of pressure on the kids. That's what I took it as. Having police and pastors as parents just put a lot of pressure, extra pressure on them.
See, I fixed that by saying, "Don't follow me. I'm lost too."
Mm-hmm.
Period. I ain't leading nobody. It take a lot of nuts to tell somebody this is the truth and this is the only truth and this is gonna get you there. I'm like, really? You gonna gamble my family and yours on that? Nah, I'm good. I'm cool.
Yeah, especially because
I respect it, but. I do it on my own. Like I tell my kids, whatever you believe in is on you.
I'm curious about that. What helped you decide, and where did you land? What did you decide after seeing all the religions?
What I decided is everybody can't be lying, and they all did. Shit get lost in translation just moving here. Like Hispanic shit is backwards, and you say certain shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that gets lost in translation. You mean tell me that the Bible isn't translated, or the Muslims is lying, or these people are lying? I don't know. We don't know, but your relationship is different than mine with the Creator. So I believe in the Creator, the Most High. The one. Other than that, I don't believe in anything else. Voodoo, witchcraft, none of that. Though I did bury my drawers in the backyard, so I never leave home.
Wait a minute. Stop, internet. So I think we've got a point to talk about here. You just said you don't believe in voodoo, witchcraft, and all that, but you did bury your underwear in the backyard of your home.
Yes.
And what is this? Let's be clear to the internet, because this is a new one. I've heard a lot of bullshit in my day. This is a new one.
I was always hear my
no
mom
disrespect.
No, it's no disrespect taken.
I try hard not to be superstitious. This sounds like a superstition.
I am very, because of shit my daddy used to do to me, I kind of am. And I'm Captain Scenario, so I always think too much on shit.
Yeah, you're Capricorn.
There it is.
I got it.
But my mother would tell me, and my sister, they'd be like, you bury motherfucking drawers in the backyard. He'll never leave home. Well, when I first
you buried your own.
Yeah.
I think that's for the women to do.
No, fuck that. I don't want to leave that house. That's what my shop is in the back of that house.
You happy there?
Hell yeah.
You're happy there. If you expand one day and build a new house, you get rich enough to build your own house.
I'm buying the house.
Do you have to dig up the drawers and take them with you? That's my only question.
Because I'm not leaving.
You're not leaving.
No, I'm moving right next door in the house. I'm gonna knock that shit down.
Right. Okay.
And we're gonna expand this way. We're gonna buy the block. We're gonna Master P it, baby. I don't give a fuck. We ain't moving.
You're happy where you're at. I feel like.
They gonna bury me in this motherfucker. Yeah, real shit.
I would do that. I like my house, but I don't feel like that superstition could outpower my wife to need new shit.
And see, my wife does, and that's the problem. That's where I'm conflicted, because I want to get my wife new shit. You know what I mean? But me being poverty stricken, you know what I mean? I've seen the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? With me, I realized something a long time ago. None of this shit we chasing, you gonna take with you. We still digging the Egyptians up with their slaves. They try to take their slaves, cats, jewelry, all kind of shit. We still digging their dumb ass up with this shit. Haha, look what I got, Egyptians. So none of this shit is gonna. Why are we chasing it?
Right.
I just want to live.
I agree.
But my wife,
you're a man. Don't you think that's kind of the man's perspective? I think a man could live in a cardboard box without a woman. If we had cable and a blunt, maybe.
No, Charlie can't. Disclaimer: Charlie cannot do that shit right there. Me, I need a fat bitch, some weed, a
few things. This is the list of essentials. Please give it to us. We'd like to. Other young men are listening. They'd like to know.
I need somewhere to record where he's at. So I can fuck with him too.
Is that a part of the process?
Part of my job. It's like that's where I get my energy from. I come in and just drive him nuts with scenarios and shit. Yeah, that's what we do.
We want you to keep moving. All right. What? Who played you hip hop first?
Actually, that would be my brother Troy. Rest in peace.
Older brother?
Yeah. I was a baby out of 5 kids.
Me out of 3.
My brother Troy, we used to trade Run DMC lines back and forth. You know what I mean? From the beginning eras all the way up to Tougher Than Leather. You know what I mean? So I used to get the rap pages and put them up in my wall, hanging from a piece of string with both pieces get blow in the wind and shit.
Wow. Yeah, it's creative.
So, but I started off beatboxing and breakdancing. You know what I mean? So, but my brother was my inspiration on that. You know what I mean? He played that Run DMC and it was a rap.
Everybody I spoke to is usually an older brother or uncle. Sometimes a parent, for the younger kids. Sometimes it was a parent, but most of the time a sibling or a brother.
Yeah, you know what? For all the parents out there, could I apologize to y'all for like us older heads, because of when y'all told us that they ain't nobody but James Brown, the funky drummer. They ain't nobody but this guy. They ain't nobody. I'm like, no, it's not. That's LL Cool J. That's Run DMC. My bad, cause you know what I mean. Cause I'm listening to when I'm listening to Funky Worm Radio on Spotify, all kind of songs pop up, and I'm like, damn, did Dr. Dre make a beat? Like
right.
Instead of flipping the beat, did he actually make a beat? No, Charley Dre, because that was so fucking creative. You know what I mean? It was creative.
A lot of our favorite rap songs are pretty much.
Man, we were shocked. Because I was like, LL was this, and that. You was like, yeah, LL's cool. He's the Run on steroids. And I was like, oh, yes. Damn it. I was like, damn, when I broke it down, we was listening back and forth. I was like, he's not. Bro, I'm playing that shit back and forth. I put LL's twist on it. I said, son of a bitch, he Yeah, I was like, okay, all right.
They used to notoriously have battles and chase after each other, trying to be the best or whatever, you know.
Yeah, but he's running on steroids.
He's running on steroids. And LL, you know, it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
They both had a pretty good run.
They ran the Empire.
Taking Run DMC back and forth, you take me back a little bit. Where did you, when you moved to Arizona, you were a teenager. What did you, who was your first white friend in Arizona? That was a big thing we do. Let me ask that to you. Who is, if not then, who is your go-to white friend? Do you have one? That's the first question.
Oh, I have plenty of white friends.
You had white friends in Detroit. You came to Arizona. There's a plethora of white people. I'm sure you picked out a few. Give us your go-to white friend.
I got plenty of white friends.
Who's the best one? Let's give him a shout out.
Let's give him a
prize.
The first one would be the only person I know wouldn't call me a nigger when he get mad at me.
That's a pretty low bar.
Real shit.
I just want to say that's a pretty low bar for white people.
But see, once
I know this guy won't call me the
what I
N-word.
mean by that is you could smack a
speak.
motherfucker in the nose and break his shit, and he's drunk, plastic, or whatever he on. He's still not gonna call me a fucking nigger.
Wow.
Is my homie Jeff.
Okay, shout out to Jeff.
I have a homie named Jeff that, you know what I mean,
Because
of work, we don't get to talk to each other. And then there's my white homie Nate. I got a white homie named Nate Sick. That's my guy right there. You know what I mean? But I got a few. I was
a little shocked when Big Doobie said he had never encountered white people before he came here. I had one thought, I was like, wow, where is that place? I want to go. And then two, I had the thought of, you know, I thought Detroit was more integrated than that, I guess. I had this envision. People had told me...
Depending on where you're at.
People had told me when General Motors was thriving, a lot of black people came from the South and got good paying jobs for a change in Detroit. And it seemed like the people I experienced from Detroit, you can usually tell when people have experienced other cultures. When I run into white people, to me it's painfully obvious whether they have ever hung out with black people or not. And likewise, when I meet some black people, it can be obvious that they usually don't or do hang out with white people. Dave Chappelle is a good example of someone, a black man who seems like to me, he's had a healthy dose of actually hanging out with white people in his life. So, not that any of that matters, it's just, I feel it's interesting. I thought Detroit was more integrated because Richmond is very integrated. I grew up my whole life knowing and going to school with black people, Asian people. I felt it was always a positive and it helped me out in life. And I just had this vision, and I guess it's the inner city is like Dude was saying, very black, but maybe as you get out beyond the city, it's very integrated or very mixed. Help me understand what's right and wrong about the way I think.
First of all, like I like to explain, my issue with that, I can only speak on Detroit from 1973 up to 1990. I only go back for funerals.
Okay. You've never been back since 1990.
I go back for funerals.
Right.
I go back to visit. I'm not running from there. And then, you know,
no, I understand.
I go back.
No, I understand.
You know what I mean?
But there's really no reason.
Right. Because
you like it here. You buried your drawers. You like it here.
Look at my videos. I'm crying when I go to that motherfucker. It's nothing but pain there for me. Right. My mom died there. My dad was on heroin before he got saved. You know what I mean? From my best friend getting killed. All kind of crazy shit happened there. So it's like bad feelings for me. But with me, I only remember black and white. White was usually the cops and the teachers.
shout to Doobie's teachers. That's where he counted two white people.
And then the rest, the Arabs ran the stores. You know what I mean? The Arabs, the Chaldeans, they ran the stores. And there was a lot of black owned shops. You just had to know where to go. But
see, y'all were ahead of us. We didn't have Arab convenience store owners.
Well, we had the
until
biggest
like
Arab,
1993.
We had the biggest Arab population. I think still to this day.
Michigan does have a lot of Arab population.
It has the biggest Arab population in the
So maybe it started there. I remember going to D.C. in 1990 and noticing there was all, let's say, Middle Eastern descent.
Yeah, see, I'm used to seeing black folks
running the store, and I didn't understand. I was like, that's weird. It was all Middle Eastern descent people running the stores. And then went back to Richmond, and 2 years later, that's how it was in Richmond. It just was
all
slow
spread out. But see,
happens.
What that is that they offer these grants for certain, you know, people from certain
to start
countries
businesses
to come over
if you're new.
And so
Black people never got those
day
grants.
man,
Black people never got those benefits.
We won't even get reparations.
If you're an American citizen and if you're kind of backdoored in as an American citizen, you don't get the benefits.
They feel you get that when you get them food stamps.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up how America looks at.
Look how they do our vets.
They look at that as a benefit. Food stamps, helping struggling people eat is not a benefit, and it's unfortunate. And the way they do their vets is horrible. I mean, the way we do our vets, every day vets are not getting proper medical treatment and killing themselves because of what they are led to do overseas that we don't even get to see. We don't even know what they're doing that's driving them crazy. And so it's a good point. More people need to look out for our vets. Nothing but bad times in Detroit. Tell me something positive about when you moved to Arizona. You moved to Arizona, you came from a lot of dark clouds in Detroit.
No snow.
The no snow was your biggest thing?
Snow is an option in this motherfucker. Yeah, but it's no snow. The women are a lot, no shot. Had no women out there because most of them are black. And I just feel like I ran through enough of those back then in my younger.
Started rapping?
Taking it serious when I started fucking with yoga about 4 years ago.
Really?
Taking it serious, but I've been rapping since I started beatboxing.
I feel like I've seen footage of you at a show that looked like it was a little older than 4 years ago. Would I be wrong?
I had a show back in 2008.
Right.
So I used to be with this group called D4C.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's the footage.
Yeah, Young Spider is my little brother. Shout out to Young Spider.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He Mexican, so everybody don't think he's my little brother, but I'm married to his sister. We've been married for like 25
I think that makes
years.
you his brother in my book anyway.
Yeah, he stayed at my house, ate my food. That nigga my brother.
Right. You call him whatever you want because he stayed at your house and ate your food.
I'm like, Young, get your ass in here, clean this shit up. So I've been rapping for a minute though. But taking it serious is when I came over here to the factory.
Okay.
And I sat back for a long time because I had to figure out what I wanted to really do. And I actually have no desire to be famous nor rich. You know what I mean? So
it's really just about creative output for you.
It's really, I have a luxury that I didn't have. I have a luxury to get my kids that I didn't have. We didn't have videotapes of my mom dancing or my.
Sure.
Plus, my mom died in a house fire, so all that shit we lost anyway.
Sure.
But now my kids can go back. If something happens to me, they can go back and look at me after I'm gone and see my videos and be like, oh, my dad was on some funny shit this day, or he did this that day. You know, so it's like a luxury. Plus, people don't really rock with you until you're gone anyway. Unless you're doing some weird shit, you know what I mean, or doing every drug and all that shit. I'm not a party dude, so I don't fit that category. So what I'm really trying to do is make sure I have a good body of work so I can leave behind for my kids and my homies have.
That's wonderful. That's incredible perspective. I've never heard anyone break it down.
I don't desire for
that
that
reason.
I ain't chasing shit.
Don't take this the wrong way, but you seem like what I was told to be, what I was taught to be by my brother, a simple man.
Yeah.
That finds joy, and not the way Yo might call you a simple man. He might have a different meaning.
Yeah,
what I mean is a man that finds joy in life and doesn't want for things that cause him pain, or the need for things that you don't really need a lot of time causes you pain. The want for things that you don't really need, I should say.
My mama died in a house fire. My mom died in a house fire when I was 14. I was in the boys' home. My dad was on heroin. My homie smiled in my face for the nigga shot me.
That's heavy shit, man.
Not really.
Let me stop you.
It is what it is.
People that experience things don't sometimes recognize the weight of what they put
I seen a chick get an iron plugged in and the nigga stuck it on her face, and I'm sorry, I'd rather take the bullet to the door before motherfucker stick an iron on my face.
You gotta be a cold motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
To penny a girl after we all watch Good Times. You gotta be a cold motherfucker in the face.
Trying to tell you.
We all saw Good Times. I cried when Penny got the iron.
And then in Texas, you got people bragging motherfuckers and shit. So
I can't. That's
it
hard
could
to
always
believe.
be worse.
I know you. I have some friends that have been through some heavy shit, and I think it's a common thing with people that go through heavy shit is that you almost, maybe it's a protective measure, maybe it's just uncomfortable, that you don't want to dwell on it. I think it's easy for you to kind of downplay how heavy it is because of the heavy shit you've been through. Someone like me, I could compare to you maybe. I would say I had a house fire and I lost all my earthly possessions at 25. But I feel ashamed to even bring that up because losing...
Shit, man, can you imagine losing your earthly possessions?
But losing your mother, Charlie. I understand, but losing your mother...
When God come get you, he gonna come get you.
That's a different thing.
Right in this interview. But see, the thing about it is, every moment is precious. The shit that I've seen in life taught me the things of the way that I believe, and I talk about it in some of my music. My homie Delano ran away from the boys' home and thought he could sell rocks. And 22 shot him through the burglar bars and grabbed the motherfucking drugs out of his hand, you know what I mean? So I tried selling drugs back in my day, but it was God's way of telling. It never worked out for me, you know what I mean? I took it as God's way of saying, look, the same for you. You know what I mean? So it's just the shit that you go through. If you're not paying attention, you'll be forced to repeat it. And the shit that I've been through, I don't want to repeat it. You know what I mean? Because I've been through stuff where I had to repeat it. You know what I mean? So with me, it's not so much. It could be seen as downplaying it, but it's acceptance of and worse shit is happening to somebody else.
I think it's very wise words.
I'm not getting dragged down the street.
Maybe inspiration for other people that are going through things that maybe are heavy.
It's rough out here. Yeah. It's rough.
It's 2020. A lot of us are going through heavy things. I mean, you already brought up veterans and a lot of different aspects.
It's not about me.
People catching a hard time.
Yeah.
I get that. It's a very refreshing aspect. Usually when I sit down and talk to rappers and performers, it's usually about me.
I don't give a fuck about
so
me.
It's a different perspective.
I'm gonna be good.
Yeah.
I just want to smoke some weed.
You've already got your house. You've got your own weed strain. Let's lighten the mood just for a minute. Let's talk about for a rapper who's not signed and probably not known nationally. You have your own marijuana strain.
Yeah, I smoke that much weed.
Well, I guess you have a friend or a journeyman grower, someone that reached out to you, or you reached out to them?
Yeah, somebody reached out to me. It was actually one of my dad's friends. He liked my song Wide Open.
Mm-hmm. Great song, by the way. I played it since it came out.
He said he would play it for his plants while he's doing his thing. And he said they turned purple and they had this different smell and everything. So
that's incredible.
He was like, man, and he asked me, he said, hey man, what strains do you like? I got the name in like old school shit because he was older. And, I'm an old school skunk head.
Okay.
So
there's nothing more that when you're an old school skunk head, when you ride down the highway and you smell an actual skunk that's been hit, and the first thing that comes to your head is somebody got some reefer around this.
Yeah, real shit, man. Somebody got that.
And you probably call it reefer because you're old.
Yeah,
you probably don't call it whatever the kids call it. That's incredible to me. So the weed grew differently while listening to your music.
Yeah, so he could have been saying that shit.
It's a magnificent story.
So I would go with it just to gas my head.
No, it's a magnificent story.
He could have said that shit just to gas my head.
Turned purple for a change. Yeah. Got darker.
I think
listening to Charlie.
Yeah, he was like, it left this light side and went to the dark side. No, but it was actually pretty good too, So
is there any plans to make that available in a real legal way, or is that kind of like you got to know somebody kind of thing?
For me,
either way is fine.
Because I was taking cultivation classes and I failed keeping it 100.
It's science. It's not for everybody.
Sure in the fuck is. And
I know people said, the funny thing, people said they legalize marijuana, everybody can grow. I said, look, first of all, I don't think I can grow as fast as I smoke. Maybe I can, but I got a lot of other shit going on. I don't have a lot of time.
Well, indoor, you're playing God.
And number two, I don't trust myself to be a scientist like these other scientists are sciencing. Yeah. I like how they science. I'd rather just support their science.
You go ahead and do that now.
Because they're obviously way ahead of the game, and I don't want to play catch up. Now, I will guarantee I will grow a plant just to see what I can do and try. But I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on lights, and I'm not going to get my heart broken if that shit withers and dies. I'm just going to go buy some weed.
Here's the thing, from what I'm learning, a lot of shit that people are really smoking is outdoor anyway. So to learn, like they had to teach me, you said where you fucked up at, you didn't know outdoor first. So you have to learn outdoor first before you
bring
come
it
in.
indoor.
I mean, because they had me outdoor, but it was very strenuous. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try it again.
You got a very level head, very mature take on things.
I'm just acting right now.
What is the? Are you just acting right now? What is what's the worst and the best parts of being a rapper in general, or specifically, however you want to address it? What is, in your experience? You've been doing it a minute with Yo.
You got one more cough, or we go.
That's weed.
I'm just fucking.
Nah, I got you. It's all good.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. You can cough on me. You know I don't give a damn.
No.
Why you go to?
I'm just keeping the recording going, Charley Goo. Don't worry about me. That's the worst parts of being a rapper. Dealing with Yo. Is that on the worst side?
None, because I do what the beat tell me to do. I don't never really give a fuck about what nobody likes or what they don't like.
I'll give you an example. When I was a rapper, for me, it was hanging out in a room full of loud, drunk men. Is what? Yeah, no homo.
Okay.
That sounds weird, but no homo. I got beyond that.
You know what, Swerve? You just woke me up to a real problem. Me, let's air this shit out. Charley, as a grown ass man, is not coming in this studio unless we work. If we're not getting no work done, I'm not coming. Unless we have a function or something like that. But we're not getting no work done, it's counterproductive for me.
Well, hanging out in the studio can be boring if you're not active.
I don't want to listen to the same old shit. I want to create something. Why we got all these artists here and we're not creating anything? Usually at the factory, that's what we do. Usually what we hear is like, fuck what you thinking? We just sat here and bam, and that shit just popped up. You know, so usually when we hear the factory produces music, so.
Music's like a spontaneous good time. Like if you remember good times you had back in the day with some friends, and maybe you try to recreate a night and do things the same way, it never works out the same way. And I think music, when it's created organically, like you're speaking about, it's hard to recreate that kind of vibe.
Facts.
So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's facts. When you're trying too hard, first of all, you gotta flow like water. You know, when you try, like I said, I come in here and do
water's pressurized, right?
Yeah.
You gotta flow
You
without
gotta
the pressure,
flow,
right?
Yeah, because sometimes if you try to fight it, it's gonna break your ass up.
Yeah.
On them rapids, you know. So with me, I come in here and do what the beat tell me to do, and I'm not gonna sit here and fight over that one song. I'm on to the next one. If that one ain't a hit, I'm gonna go to the next one. First of all, I don't pick hits. The people do. You know what I mean? So
well, that's smart, because trying to make a hit can be really bad for a lot of people's creative process.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make.
I think you got to throw it all on the wall and then pick out what looks good later, right?
I don't want to hit. Leave me alone. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be on TMZ. And I'm sitting in my car masturbating, and these motherfuckers run up on me. Charley Goo, we got Charley Goo masturbating in his pieces left out.
I don't know if I want to bring that up, but is that a regular? Are you really worried about getting caught jerking off in your car?
Yeah, while you was interviewing homeboy, that's what I. No, I'm just.
Because I gotta be honest, I'm getting older, so I'm taking Mega Man vitamins
no
and
hair,
you know, and
I'm good. No,
I don't need nothing. If 2 Mega Man vitamins, I'm good for the day.
The only thing I need to do to get hard is this. I'm good. Thank you, Lord. I never abused myself, but like I said,
all that oxygen.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I never abused myself. So as far as I ever went was weed. You know, I have an ecstasy problem. You know what I mean?
You stay away from it, or do you dibble and dabble every now and then?
It call me. It still got my phone number, and it call me every now and then.
Is it a special occasion? Maybe you and the wife have a weekend away or something?
Want to, but the thing is, my son is on drugs. You know, my son is on fentanyl. You know, and he's dealing with it the best way he can. And I'm scared. It got me scared straight. So when they call me, I'll be like, damn, is that fentanyl?
They are putting that shit in everything.
Yeah, like real shit. They put it in weed and everything. So yeah, it still call me, and I'm an addict. I'm gonna be an addict for life. But I used to sell them. You know, I mean, not justifying it, but
take a trip to Oregon. I think they're selling everything.
Yeah, they say it made everything. Yeah. I'm good. I'm stay the fuck away from there. Yeah, I'm good.
You stay where your drawers.
They got a point. Yeah, my drawers gonna hold me right back to that motherfucker. So
that's the main reason I like going to the dispensary, because as street drugs get crazier and crazier, I like going to a place where they tell me like this is just weed. Because I've managed to, like you, I have dibbled in other things, dibbled and dabbled maybe here and there, but mainly it's just been liquor and weed.
Yeah, I'm into party drugs. I can't do coke, can't afford that. Nose too big. Never did meth, crack, nothing. Love these teeth.
Yeah.
You know, I also crack.
Nice teeth for an older man. All the side teeth and everything as well, ladies. If you
I bought these.
Oh, you bought them?
Yeah, because I was in an accident a while back, but I paid like $7,000 for these.
Oh, they the implants. They the real joints.
Yeah,
okay.
I paid.
They don't come out at night.
Yeah, I got these done at the Denzel. I put it on my live because they asked me, well, how do you want your teeth, Mr. Irving? You know, I had a little bit of money in that, you know, insurance. So I said, you know what? You seen Training Day? You know, when Denzel said, oh, he shot me in the ass. So that's what I did. You know what I mean?
They can do that? I had no idea.
Yes, bro. They scanned them.
They gave you Denzel teeth.
Yes, they scanned them motherfuckers. I said, that's what I want.
There you go.
So that's why I ain't fighting nobody. You know, you try to run up on me, plus I'm about to be 48. You swing on me, I'm about to blow your goddamn head off. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, you got an investment in the grill.
Yeah,
you know.
well, yeah, you're not gonna knock my teeth out. Have my dad, I beat you up, and then I walk with the black eye. And my kids like, Dad, why you get beat up? Nah, I'd rather just be in prison fighting the case.
You seem way too easy going for rap beef. Has anybody ever had a problem with Charley Goo? I mean, to me, Charley Goo, pardon the expression, you seem like, this is what people have called me before, you seem like an old shoe. You seem like an old soul that is not really concerned with the rigmarole most people deal with. I'm sure some people could call you names you wouldn't give a fuck. What bothers Charley Goo? What gets at Charley?
I'm a pretty cool dude. The problem is, I say shit that gets under people's skin. Some people don't like it, but most people really think about it. I've never lied to anyone. And I say what I'm feeling. What I say doesn't influence anybody. Shouldn't influence nobody. But rap beef, nah. Because I'll have the shortest diss song ever. B to come on, like, yo, yeah. Hey, nigga, meet me at motherfucking Buckeye and 27th Avenue. I'm gonna beat your ass or you gonna beat mine. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna go back and forth over it. I think that's kind of gay. Not nothing against the gays, you know what I mean? But I think it's kind of girl-like to sit up here and come in the studio and make a whole song about a dude. All these got an issue, call me, because I'm a pretty cool dude. I'm not gonna hurt you, you know what I mean, unless you try to hurt me. But shit, call me, man. It's like rap beef. I ain't got time for that. I'm not homosexual. I'm not into that. I'm not gonna make no song about you. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it.
How are you, I don't want to dwell on it too long because it's a heavy subject. And it's very close to you.
Don't ask it.
Okay, go ahead. I'll remember what we're asking, man. But take your time.
Because all the shit.
Yeah.
we roll it down though. Whatever's said now is on.
All right, let's get back to. We were in a serious moment when we broke up for a break. We were in a serious moment. I just want to kind of deal with this so we can get past it as much as we're going to. I know it's a serious spot in your life, in your heart, and so we won't dwell on it. But I did want to ask, just for the help of other people, what advice or insight could you give to other people? It's an epidemic just as much as COVID, especially with the fentanyl being introduced into all drugs. What advice could you give to other people out there that are dealing with loved ones and family members, you know, people that we want and keep and help in our life? What is your advice to deal with it when someone has a serious drug addiction? It's gone maybe beyond their control, where they need some help. What is your advice, if any?
It's like raising kids. There's no rule book for this.
And I don't mean that. I have children. I agree. It's no one general rule. But
what I would say is the main thing is love them. You got to put that in God's hands.
Yeah.
Because you can't change anything, and when you really think about the basis of everything, you can't change things that's out of your control. No matter how much you try to beat into your child or your loved one or your friend that, hey man, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. That's them, and they have to make that choice on their own. Mm-hmm. And that's the hard part for us, because we selfish. You know, we want you to be back how you was and all that, but it's hard. But at the same time, only thing you could do is really love that person and pray for them, because you can't change anything. My son is at home with me where I want him to be, because if something happens to him out there on the streets, I probably won't find out till later. You know what I mean? And then seeing my dad change his life. My dad was a big heroin addict. You know what I mean?
And heroin, I've had a friend that conquered heroin and got away from it day by day. He's doing it day by day. But other than cigarettes, to me, is one of the harder drugs to get away from.
When I went back to bury my dad in '94, he had a king's funeral. Come to find out, he got saved. He went back and got all his friends that he used to get high with and got them clean and sober, and they gave him his own Victory Outreach. He became a director at Victory Outreach. So for me, like,
that's an incredible story.
I didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you literally thought you were going back to his demise, and he had changed.
He really changed his life around. You know, me and my sister always say, if God could change Charley Goo, because he's Charley Goo.
Right.
He could change anybody, and that's where my belief came in. Though he believed in Jesus Christ, I don't know his name. I don't know the Creator's name. I don't want to be calling you David and Jimmy and all that. Then I finally meet you, and you be like, "Hey, bro, my name's Swerve."
It's important. It's
right?
important.
So I'm scared. You know, Mr. Scenario, Captain Scenario. So, you know,
they say God's true name cannot be spoken by human beings. Or if it is, it'll be disastrous.
But see, at the same time, we've been lied to so long.
You don't know.
I don't even trust that. I got trust issues. I mean, fuck, I just told you. My
could be
homie
named
smiled
Frank
in my face before he shot me. I trust this nigga. I'm taking him his money and you gonna shoot me. So I don't know. And I don't want that to be a flaw for me.
Understood.
You know, so I've been spending my 40s trying to right my wrongs and fix things. But one thing I could tell somebody, people like, oh man, I will put them out. I'm like, bro, it's easy to say that when it's, you know, not your child.
Not only that, when someone's sick, do you throw them out of the hospital?
Right.
Is that the answer anywhere else? If someone's a criminal, you just throw them back out on the street?
Bro, it could be you.
You're supposed to be trying. These things are set up. Hospitals. Unfortunately, jails and prisons don't follow through on their commitment, but originally they were supposed to be rehabilitating people. You know, they're supposed to be helping people. Hospitals definitely supposed to be helping people. If people need help, where else in life, when people need help, is throwing them out to the street the right answer? Nowhere.
I can't do that.
I don't think it's ever the right answer. I think it's a weakness in human beings to separate.
I don't want to deal with it.
That's your issue. I don't want the inconvenience of dealing with your drug addiction.
And see, with me, I see it as my payback because I've sold crack to pregnant mothers. I've sold crack and poison in my community. I've sold heroin before. You don't get away scot-free. You know, no matter what you believe in, everything comes back to you.
Everybody believes in what goes around comes around.
This is my payback.
Everybody,
you know what I mean? So my son's gonna be okay. First of all, because this is his life. When I die by myself. If we could die duct tape together. Don't. When I die, I get judged by myself.
I have many questions about that premise in itself.
You know what I'm saying? We
can kill each other without technically duct taping ourselves
together.
There's a gay aspect to that.
We can get carbon. All right, here we go. The scenario. We can get carbon monoxide poison, right? And then the landlord come in here and be like, "Damn, I want to keep the studio up and running. Get some duct tape. Drag all these niggas. The big one, put them out by yourself. But then tape these little niggas up by themselves and drag them out. And then we going to see the Creator by ourselves." But anyway, what I'm saying is, you know, that's on him because he's 24. I did shit when I was 11 that I'm not proud of.
A highlight might be that your father did conquer drug addiction.
Well, that's not for everybody. That's not everybody's plan.
But hopefully, I would hope if I were you, I'm hoping as me that your son has those genetics, maybe has that strong will in him somewhere to when he's really ready to make a change, he'll make a change.
I have an addictive nature. That's why I say I'm no better than him. But like I say, my phone ring, because I think them thizzles was calling me right now. I wanted to pop like 3 of them this weekend. So what I do is I drink. Because if I drink before I take an ecstasy pill, I'll start throwing up.
Oh, so drinking keeps you.
I used to sell them, bro. I used to have like 30,000. I could say that chill now. I used to have like 30,000 in them motherfuckers.
Big pill guy. I knew
that was my thing. I'm a party dude. Me and my wife like bitches. You know, that's what we do. You know, so that's what I did. But then when my wife went to prison for 2.5 years, it was just me and my kids by myself. So I gave it up then. Though I have dipped and dabbled since then. You know, like I say, them motherfuckers call me every weekend. But what I do is I start stroking. I started writing. So I even shocked this nigga. I'm like,
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes, I did. You see, I'm on point. This the dude with the. You got on. See, you started. That's not. He started.
Things get tough. I get
But he got the air paper towels on right now. You know, he got the air paper towels on right now, and he want to take everything I say out of context.
Press those.
It's all good. Press those out of the door, please. Press those. Those ain't it.
Let's get on a lighter conversation. I feel like my wife is trying to. You say you and your wife mess with other women from time to time, special occasions, or is this a regular occurrence?
I plead the Fifth Amendment, but yes,
you'll get off on you'll just dip off on that.
No,
I feel like my wife is trying to slow walk me into like a neighborhood swinger type situation. Right. She keeps bringing it up. She's got friends that are into it. She's trying to talk about the positives.
Check this
I
out.
feel like she's slow walking me into a situation, and I'm a Capricorn. I'm a scenario guy, much like you, as you say. I feel like this is happening, and I need to put a stop to it, but I'm not sure how. Do you have any advice?
Check this out. Let me be honest with you, and for everybody out there listening, keeping it 100. How would you feel if you're forced to eat steak and potatoes your whole fucking life?
I would like it, yeah. After a couple times.
There's an allure of something, and then, you have to taste something different. You have to spice up.
Do I have to, though? Like,
yes,
I don't really think I want
to,
though.
Unless you want somebody to fuck your woman. Yes.
No, I don't want that.
Right. See, because here's the thing.
Okay.
Unless she wants somebody to knock you down, she has to spice things up. Don't you want the slobbering on your meat and all that? And
COVID. Woo.
Don't you want that?
I'm just in full. So you understand the whole story. I was 45 years until I got married. So I had I was a rapper, DJ. Although I was blinded by not having any, let's say, G experience early on. I wasn't taught by ladies' men. I was taught by carpenters. So everything about ladies I had to learn right here on my own forehead by myself. So it took me some time, but once I got there, I did okay in my 45 years. My wife has had very little experience. She married young. Her husband died. She's only had a handful of men. I told her when we got together, I don't want you to miss out. I said, I'll give you one pass. I don't want to be there. I don't really even want to know about it. But if you take one pass and go experiment, as long as you're safe, I won't break up with you over it. I'll give you that. But I don't want to be involved. See, here's the thing. When I'm an older man, and I'm gonna be real clear here, internets. To me, jerking off, masturbating, if you will, is somewhat like cheating, and it's enough for me, because I'm out here in the scene. I see all these pretty little women running around, tits and ass. Hell, we got a lot of tits just running around in the studio over at Respect Underground right now.
Yes, you do.
All I see is their problems. Facts. And when I tell young guys this, they don't get it. They don't understand. But when I see these young women, these pretty women, especially these pretty young women, all I see is their problems. Their kids, their mother, their family, their ex-boyfriend, their drug addictions, their pH balance.
Bitch ain't brushed her teeth. She talking about her pH balance, but she let some nigga smoke blunts and shit, finger her all damn day.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So it's going to be hard for me to interact with other women because I just see their problems. I feel like and to be honest, I'm not attracted to a lot of women on a level of wanting to have sex with them. I'm very picky in my nature.
You're caught up in the wrong shit.
Probably.
First of all.
Help me out. Bring me home, Charley Goo. Help me out. Because like you said, I might have to do this for my wife as a good husband.
Hear me though. Listen to me. Hear me out. I've been through the cheating thing with my wife. I have 25 years of marriage. We've been through some shit.
Y'all both have been.
We both cheated. We both been through. Right. We both been fucked up.
So you came to an agreement.
No,
sounds like
it's not even that. With me, I started to realize that I would rather know and be there and make this a fun event than not know. And you doing this shit behind my back. Because one thing that drives a man crazy, because I've been around real psychopaths, real killers. One thing that drives a man crazy is not knowing. We want to know everything. The
thoughts, right? Or the thinking about what happened when you don't know.
Most of these little dick dudes, they'll sit back. Was he bigger than me? Did he do this better? So they have that drives them crazy. But see, here's the other issue. Here's how you know if you can do this or if you're not.
Right.
Have you ever sat with your woman and watched porn?
Not yet. I'm worried. This is my
How old are you?
My biggest fear. Well, we've only been together a few years.
You childish as fuck.
Maybe so. She watches porn. I watch porn. We just haven't done it together.
What?
We got a 3-year-old.
Oh.
We got a 21-year-old. We got cock blockers all over the house. We got problems.
Hey, listen.
We don't have a lot of sex.
You
We got a lot of cock blockers.
You got
Her mother lives with us.
Excuse me, y'all.
You got NyQuil.
Robitussin.
Rub a little Henny on the lip.
We'll get the hammer.
Robitussin.
Get the stick. Be like, night. But
we're working on it, Charlie.
No, but see, at the same time,
well, you know what my main fear is? I love this woman. She's the last vagina I want. Right. But I want her to be happy. And here's the thing: my wife would never cheat on me. I know this for a fact. She's a loyal person.
Why would you do anything?
But what she would do is become maybe a little irritable, or maybe a little resentful. You know, maybe she needs a extra half-inch of cock sometimes. I don't know.
I don't know how it feels.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm just worried about if we're all in the same room and we're swinging together.
Here's the way
I'm worried it'll be an uncomfortable moment where I want it to stop and I won't be able to stop it because that's some. I understand. That's some fucked up shit to be like, I can't handle this, guys. Everybody cut this shit out right now. But I feel like I might get that feeling, and I'm worried about getting that feeling. If you could show me a picture, I might not want to see it.
Let me help you something. If you had $1
in
your hand, and you gave me $1 and I gave you $1, that's fair exchange, no robbery.
Right.
Unless your dollar is fake. I'm with Juvenile. Let me fuck your bitch. You can fuck my. If it's fair exchange, you come to that. Understood. If you come to that point,
how do you know and trust the other guy won't be inappropriate?
But see,
what if you look over there and your wife's not enjoying it?
Hold on.
What if you get confused and you think she's not enjoying it, but she really is enjoying it? You start a fight. Things are fucked up forever. You done fucked it up forever at this point.
Who are you people? Like
I've never been there.
You
Charlie.
tell me.
Obviously, I'm trying to understand.
I've never been there. Explain it to you.
Okay, please.
See, I'm different than you. Than most people. Most people see the woman that they need the allure of a beautiful woman or nothing. First of all, the only woman I want is my wife.
Agreed.
The only thing I want is her. So anything outside of that is a beautiful thing. You say pussy, see how I mumbled it. My dick get hard. I'm ready. Like there's not gonna be experience. I don't give a fuck if somebody happens. Never happened. I'm not into that. The motherfucker pull out a 10-footer. Hey, you give him a bulldozer, give me a shovel. Tell us to dig a hole. At the end of the day, we're gonna have a hold up.
Most guys with big dicks can't fuck.
That's
a secret I'm aware of.
If you can't bring your wife, bring your little sister. It's fair exchange, no robbery. You gotta walk around and look at this little bitch every day too. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna for the internets. I will give y'all a secret. A man with a big dick is like a pretty woman. They don't usually know how to fuck because they've never had to know how to fuck.
Right.
People like me had to learn everything on their forehead. We try hard.
Yeah.
Especially because I grew up surrounded by black men who I was told every day had bigger cocks than me, and I only watched porn. I didn't play sports, so the only cocks I experienced were the ones in porn, and they were all pretty big. So some of us have issues. That's not my issue.
I'm little. I got little.
That's not. I'm glad you're proud to say that.
I'm little. I got the ladies. Leave me alone. Stay out my inbox. My shit is little as hell. Leave me alone.
So you're riding on the stereotype.
No.
So you're right. Yeah, so you're just playing. Say it loud. Don't be quiet. Say it loud. We're discussing it way too much at this point for me. Let's move on.
Ask my wife what I got. She'll tell you. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I can take this off.
I'm a little above average unless it's above 80 degrees and I really like you.
Who's looking at
then I might be able to. Well, I'll tell you that. Here's the secret to that.
Who cares?
You know who wrote up the averages?
I don't care about none of that.
A bunch of white guys, because they do care about it. That's who cares.
Well, why do they care? They are weird like that. They care about, I'm going to go out here and fuck with this bear in the woods. That bear is not fucking with
Probably trying to figure out his dick size.
Right.
That's how white guys are.
I'm going to see where this booty hole is. Check his oil. You
his taint is 3 inches bigger than a human taint. Why do we need to know that? I agree.
See, here's the thing. Like, bitches will be like women. Bitches, women, lady, whatever.
It's same.
No, I'm just saying, just for all genres of them, because I want to get all of them.
Okay.
My mama,
the queens, the
my
ladies,
mama, rest in peace, my grandmama, whatever.
The queens, the ladies.
Oh, his dick was little, girl. He was uncircumcised. Oh, no. They would be like, oh, he stunk and all this. But wait, hold on. First of all, you sucked it, right? Even if it was just for a couple seconds, he put it in his mouth. He put it up in you, and I bet you, if you didn't nut, he did. He fucked. He don't care. Like, he doesn't care. Like, it's an elevator. Sometimes you're going to hit 7. Most times you're going to hit snake eyes. You know what I mean? So, I have no desire for nothing. Like, I don't care. First of all, I can fuck anybody I want to right here. If I want to have a threesome, bam, I use both hands.
I'm
hit it
getting
in the
scared
ass,
again.
turn it the other way. You know what I mean? It's
right
like
here?
I don't know. No, right here in these hands.
I was saying right because there's no girls.
No, I can't do that.
Let me ask you a question.
So
what happens? All right, this is. I've had friends. Let me try.
I need a beer, bro.
I've had friends that
like
had
this.
threesomes that go well, and I've had friends that were honest with me and say, "Swerve, all the time threesomes don't go well."
They don't.
Now,
we had an 18-year-old
if you're swinging,
dead on her feet.
An 18-year-old that was dead on her feet.
Mm-hmm.
You mean hopefully not? Just
she
unconscious.
like Freddy Krueger. Baby, I'm sorry I gotta tell this, but it was like my birthday or something, and this chick, my wife met her on the chat line, because this is like all old shit. You know what I mean?
Statute of limitations.
I got a house full of kids. Well, I got a house full of kids.
Right.
You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
excuse. It can't happen.
Right. You know, but see, we make that Mr. Nasty time. No matter what the foiler is doing, or
apparently there's a dance with the
but
like
foiler. The chick is just laying there, and I'm like, oh, you can't move? Like, you know, first of all, your coochie still smell like pee. I don't like young girls. I'm not into that. I'm in the era where there was hair down there, and then it started moving away. So it's like ball pussy is like kid pussy. When I see it, it was like culture shock.
I'm like you.
It was like culture shock for me. So I had to get used to it. And this all happened with my wife. You know what I mean? Fortunately. So, but she was dead on her feet. She didn't know what to do until I made her know what to do. You know,
no direction.
I don't want that.
I've heard pimps say that sometimes ladies need a little direction.
Ladies, I don't have time to give you no direction.
Well, let me ask you a question. This is a serious point blank question. In case this ever happens, I want to know the answer. Maybe you can help me. Maybe you can't.
We're not in an occasion.
We're in a swinging. Well, some people.
Yeah, I'm not.
No, good. I'm glad you're not. You know, guys I know used to run trains or would be at front and back of a girl. To me, that was always too gay. But some guys I knew that were masculine.
As long as there's coochie in the room, it could be 90 dudes.
Doesn't matter.
As long as there's some coochie in there, and that's what we focus on. First of all, my back gotta be to the wall because I don't want you looking at my booty, especially if there's a white dude in there, because they like that 16-year-old booty. Like that, it's like, oh, she has a butt like a 16-year-old boy, and like, no,
10-year-old. The expression is many. Shout out to my friend Bruce Vaughn. Used to say all the time, she got an ass like a 10-year-old boy.
And see, me,
I've heard many white guys say that.
I like
really
half an apple ass, where it look like you got an apple and you chop it in top. And like this, it's like 2 humps up here, 2 little humps at the bottom. Cause it look funny right there, but when it bend over, it give you that ass like pinky, but you can still drive to it, and you have to you can get to it without being smothered.
I never heard of Apple describe that.
Yeah, see, I'm different. Charley's different.
This is Pornhub.
It sounds like you might have cut a hole in the middle of the apple at some point.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this question: if I'm swinging, and hey, I'm doing my best, but this guy took a little bit more Viagra than me, or whatever, or he's got his mind right, he's meditated, he's lasting longer than me. Me and his wife finish, meaning I'm done. Because when I'm done, we're done.
You probably shot off fast. Pow!
Well, even if, hey,
he shot off.
Shout to Buford and a local rapper. This happened to them, but I don't want to get caught in this situation. I want to know.
Yeah.
Do I go get myself a sandwich? Is that selfish? Should I bring back waters for the other couple who's still working on finishing? Should I go like order food and prepare shit to be ready when they're done? Or should I be like, I know the right answer is not like, hey guys, I'm done, fucking cut that shit out. Right. But then the white part of me wants to say that. But what should I do?
Here is this. I don't really know what happened with that situation.
Are you more threesome or are you more swinger? Because that makes a difference.
I heard about this.
That other situation. Let's not deal in that. I don't want to disparage any level.
Me personally, I'm with the shits. As long as it's fair exchange, no robbery, I'm with the shits.
So what would you do? Go play a video game, roll a blunt, make a sandwich?
First of all, I didn't abuse myself as a youngster, so after I bust a flat tire, I could change my tire and get back on the road.
You take a little break and go again?
I don't need a
At 45, 48, whatever?
Why do I need a break?
Man, 1 or 2 a day. I'm good for a couple days.
Oh, man, I used to masturbate for 3 times a day.
You know used to? Yeah, used to. When I was 20, I bust 7 one day.
Yeah, but see, I'm the king of slap. Now I don't have time for that. You know what I mean? So I'm backed up. I'm just like, but me personally, I would, if it's still jumping off in there, shit, everybody start off soggy. After you done shot yours, get back in there. Shit, clean shit off, jump back up in there.
Hey, don't be a quitter.
Get this motherfucker up.
Try again.
Shit, get this motherfucker up. At the same time, if you can't get that up, you've just realized, sir, that this is not the business for you.
Maybe so.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I can get it up, but I need 20, 30 minutes. Usually peeing, eating something, and smoking a little bit helps. The smoking gets my mind back right.
See, me, just the aura of it all Because first of all,
maybe so.
Right, just the aura of it all. And if you're doing it for yourself, it's different. But if you're just doing it, I mean, it's just sex. First of all, unless you're hearing that jungle music. Once you're hearing that jungle music, it's different.
I don't know that. I think I might have never heard that jungle.
Yeah, you made a kid. You have. So
okay.
You know, so
one shot. Just for the record, she was riding on top. One shot, one drop, bang, straight up like a rocket. Got it done. And a boy.
And it's like,
and a boy.
Hit the little thing.
Fuck
like,
whatever y'all talking about. You can't do it in that position.
Hey, you
done.
know
Did it. Rocket shot. Bow. See, that may not be good for multiples, but that first one or two is gonna be a motherfucker.
See me, I never really had that issue. I feel for people who, you know, I get it. You know, and everybody has a bad day. You know, but far as
and what I tell people is, a nice young lady will let you try again. If you have a bad day.
Well, most thing is if you pleased her, and
I please first.
She should be ready to give you anything anyway. And if you're into it, if you want to go another round, the thing is, do you want to go another round, or are you I'm just a one and done type of dude? I'm out. You have to figure that out. Me.
It's like cooking, and it kind of if the potatoes take longer than the noodles, then you start the noodles first.
Right, and see me usually
or cool. The potatoes first. I guess.
Usually I'm cool, you know, and shit. I haven't had that issue.
God bless, good for you.
Yeah, but
it's probably all that extra oxygen.
No, even if probably so.
I'm back rolling.
Time talking to Charley Goo. It's definitely been a different mission talking to you, Goo. Let's get back to this Poverty Stricken now. All these years of putting in the King of Slap, we got to talk about that too. But Poverty Stricken, it seems like your magnum opus. It seems like this is your project that is going to sum up your rap career. Is that a statement that rings true to you? Is that have you dropped a full-length album before?
Full-length album, no.
So this is chances that you could put this much work into another one. I don't know, but this seems to me like your prominent work. This is going to speak about Charley Goo as an artist.
Well, a lot of people don't really know me. They know me in different ways, from the streets, car audio, from studios. Just being a cool ass dude.
Instagram. You're very aware, very on Instagram. You know, you're there when I wake up.
A lot of people don't really know me like that, you know. And Poverty Stricken is actually like a Meet Charley Goo. It's like a small book of meeting me.
I think it's what everybody's first album, first big project should be. I think it's appropriate. Yeah.
For me, I mean, I actually had this done for a minute. You know what I mean? But I felt like it was going to be my last body of work, you know, because rap is the only thing that has an age limit on it, supposedly. But I also want to get out of my nephews in them way. I want to find the next step. But it's not my last body of work.
Okay.
I have something already working on right now.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good to hear. As a fan of your music, I don't want it to be your last body of work.
Oh yeah, I got something else.
I am excited for it though, because I think it will capture your career. And the song with Hard Times with Bobby Boucher and Wide Open, your single, are a great introduction to you. I think that's two great opening statements. I think Hard Times was the song of the city, or the song of the times in March this year. The video definitely captured what was going on in Phoenix and across the country.
Yeah, it really did. You know, I put my life on that every verse. You know, one thing I'm not going to do to you, because you're not the police, I'm not going to lie to you.
I'm not Vlad. I may be a white guy, but I'm not working with
people.
Anybody.
Tell on themselves. You know, people tell on themselves. That's their business. Me, I'm never going to sugarcoat nothing. If it's bad with me, it's bad. You know, if it's good, it's good. There's no smoke and mirrors here with me. Don't get me wrong, I do get the aspect of the business and everything, but I'm never gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? My wife is the only person I'm worried about. That's it. You know, the only person I have to report to is her.
I understand.
You know, the only person I'm worried about looking bad in front of is my wife and my kids. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You know what I mean? So, at the same time, we're living in a time where people are just on drugs everybody's. I mean, my favorite MCs, Rio and Mike. You know, all they do is talk about Percocets. Watch them in their interviews. They're scratching. The homie Yo just posted a video the other day of the foilers out there in front of a fucking store.
Right, I saw that.
You know what I mean? So
just crack on just a quick hit of crack.
It's just, you know, we living in a time where it's in front of us. I want to be the face of somebody telling the truth. It's not about diamonds. It's not about, you know, well, it is not fucking bitches and get money. I'm never gonna be that type of sucker. So, you know, but it's not about doing all these drugs, and people forget that these kids are listening. Everything we talk about, and Slim Shady started it off with the Viking shit. You know what I mean?
He definitely is responsible for the pill push in hip hop.
Right. You know, and so
I didn't even know the names of some of those drugs.
Me either. I never heard of Adderall and Vicodin.
And it was definitely a time when that was a white guy thing. And now
it depends on where the media was at.
Now it's an everybody thing. Well, I mean, I didn't. Hey, I hung out with black men that wouldn't hit a bong because it reminded them of a crack pipe. They were definitely not fucking with pills.
That's Charlie.
You know? Pills was a thing that, you know, and not, you know, through ecstasy, through Molly. Some of us came through other drugs.
Yeah.
Some of us got used to taking pills. I've never really been a pill guy. I've had people offer me pills, and they were very vulnerable times in my life, and I felt like they might have been trying to take advantage of me by offering me pills.
It probably was. It probably
and not that I'm that sexy, and I've never been in the gay lifestyle, but you know, every now and then you attract a gay fella. It happens.
It happens.
I think he tried to roofie me, but he didn't sneak it. He offered me because
hey, you want to take?
Yeah, he's like, hey, this will make you feel better. I was like,
this will loosen you up.
I was just like you, much like you were scared of the bong. I was scared of the pills. So that's something
I don't really got involved in. Pipes, none of that, because I'm already skinny. I'm only weigh 165. You know, me doing this in the darkness, motherfucker walk up, think I'm hitting.
Well, Yo will take your picture and post it on the internet, so you definitely don't want to do it anywhere around Yo.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm about 3.5. Just give me an A. You know.
What got you? You know, there was a time when we all loved huge car systems, evident by the booming system, LL Cool J, evident by so many rap songs and lyrics that talk about Master Ace. Bunny. I think maybe it is slowed down a little bit. But when did you get into being the king of slap? When did you get into putting car stereos in the car? My brother taught me how to put in a car stereo. Right. I've many vehicles. I've put amps and done it at home myself. But you took it from there and made it into a real business. How did that happen?
I actually started stealing them when I was younger, and feed myself. Feed myself.
Okay.
And when I moved out here, I happened to be riding in my car with no registration, no nothing, and I passed Central Car Sounds, and I pulled in there. Always tinkered with car audio at my brother's, you know what I mean. But when I moved out here, when I passed Pod Air, I would hang out up there, because he would only let me clean up at the time. But then I knew more than what them guys knew. Like they didn't know how to do alarms, they didn't know how to build boxes. Already? They didn't know. Right. So I was because I would read a lot. A lot of people think that I went to school for it, but I was self-taught. You know what I mean? So, you know, I knew how to do a lot of stuff. I knew about Ohm's law. So a lot of the problems that they were having down there was all because of Ohm's law. People were getting the ohms wrong. They run the amp at 1 ohm instead of it's a 4 ohm amp at the time. Right. You know, so I would fix a lot of fuck ups, and then it became that, hey man, I want that dude to work on my car. And I would bust out like 10 to 13 cars a day while they stuck on 2 and 3. I would leave in the 90s probably about $800 a day. You know what I mean? So just on commission. You know, so it's always been my thing. But then when my wife went to prison, I realized I had to be at home.
And your kids at the time.
Yeah, because I don't have, even if I had a grandmother or a grandfather to drop my kids off, I can't. You know, so I had to be at home. So I started out as affordable car audio when I started taking it serious. And then my neighbor passed away. So that's when I got the shop. And for a year, I named it Chester's Car Audio in memory of my neighbor. But Kings of Slap, me and my homie Bubba was sitting there talking, because I said, hey bro, it's time to change the name back. It's over the year. And he was like, man, we're gonna do it. I said, man, I don't want to go with affordable car audio. I just don't like it. And we sat back and he was like,
doesn't sound.
And this dude came in and was like, hey man, this motherfucker slapping. And I was like, hey bro, we the kings of that. And there we are, the kings of slap. And me, I have to be at home every day. I have to make it home. And I can't fuck with them streets. I ain't tried it from selling pussy. I ain't pimp bitches. I ain't sold dope, sold weed. I've done it. You know what I mean? It never worked out for me. You know what I mean? But
well, God bless.
This, right? You feel
Success
me?
kills more people as much as failure.
And with me, this Kings of Slap shit is taking me to where I fuck with all sides, whether blood, crip, you know, no matter. I want gay money, straight money. I want all the money, so I don't care, you know. And then this is the only thing that I know. It's either for this, it's either car audio or me telling you to get your ass down on the ground. I'm about to light you up, give me all the money, you know, because I don't know nothing else.
Right.
You know, this
car audio seems incredibly easier than the first thing you mentioned.
Right, you feel me? Especially with me, I've been having the same gun for about 15, 20 years. So, you know, so I'm gonna shoot you and stay there. So, but it's car audio has always been I'm not running. Car audio has always been my thing because it's an experience that I sell.
Why do I have a Lexus and they put a fancy white guy Mark Harmon stereo in there?
Yeah.
Why do white people think having a nice stereo means no bass? Why does Mark Harmon think that a fancy stereo?
Bass is
because the bass is incredibly shitty in what is supposed to be an incredibly fancy system. And the guy was honest at the car factory, the place I went to in Richmond was honest. He said, you know, you got a high-end system, and they just don't value bass.
They don't.
So in one term, I want to rip all that shit out of there on principle alone, because fuck Mark Harmon. But then again, the shit looks pretty, and I like having the original shit in there. And, you know, I get like that. But why is it considered high end to not have? Why is bass vilified? It seems like.
The thing about it is, first of all, bass is violent. Where there's the presence of bass, there's also real bass. There's destruction, especially if I'm around.
A history of it. I guess war drums and all kinds of sounds related to that.
Most Harman Kardon systems, and Bose included, they're audiophile systems. So they're made for acoustic songs, you know, bluegrass,
certain kinds of music. That makes sense.
You know, rock and roll, and it's thuds and thumps. You know, and for us now we have bass restorations, you know, epicenters and stuff to bring bass into those songs. But it's not so much vilified. It's just their music doesn't hit on that level. They don't need that for a guy sitting there, Kenny Loggins with an acoustic guitar, you know, so they don't really need it. Whereas if people in the inner city or anybody that's around black folks or up on technology or up on the times.
Just as a record, my stereo and the music I played it loud enough so if I was riding by you can hear it, and it was my calling card. When I started driving 16 all the way up until 25 or 30, it lets you know who I was as a person when I was playing a certain kind of music in a certain kind of way. Now, my first stereo was a Pioneer house speaker sitting in the back seat.
Oh,
you know, I've been through all
I had a Fisher. Yeah.
The only thing I haven't done is like gave somebody $5,000-$10,000 and told them to make it the best. I've done all the other bullshit. I've never done the like, this is the right way to do it.
I own a stereo shop. I was taught don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm not gonna spend all that either. I got a lot of beat in my car. You know, my amp runs about $1,000. My subs run about $450 a piece. They're all Majestic, the Majestic Elite shit. But I own a stereo shop. That's it. It's my work vehicle.
And not only that, it's a representation of your job and it's promotion.
Plus, I'm married. I'm trying to be deaf by the time it's 27 years.
Right.
So
it does help.
Shit she say.
When she gets to talking, you're allowed to just turn up.
Yeah, especially when you did this fucked up, and then I want to have it sound like a Charlie Brown teacher. Wah, wah, wah. No, just
one last issue before we get out of here. This has been one of my most entertaining and probably Yo will admit different interviews that I've had. There is one issue that needs to be addressed. I don't know what you said. It was brought to my attention that you had made some comments about Respect the Underground in some form or fashion.
Yep.
And here is the negotiator, the mediator, the white Conda King, the Farrakhan of the Arizona hip hop scene, if you will. I'm trying to bring people together. I'm trying to straighten out these little. I'm trying to straighten out these little inconsistencies and misunderstandings, so that maybe because I'm gonna tell you why I do it before you give your answer. When I see events like the AZMT Music Awards,
right,
and there's 30 or 40 great acts there, and let's say pre-COVID when we were going to events,
right,
or when I see the Respect the Underground Festival that's for the whole city and encompassing hip hop and everything Arizona, I often wonder why aren't the people I know aren't here. In my mind, I would love to see an event where Filet Inkyo, Charley Goo, Yo Westwood, Kid K, Justice and John Blaze, The Block. I feel like there's so much going on in the city. There's so much talent, and there's just. And I'm not saying everybody has to get along or work together, but I just feel like there's wild little unresolved shit that gets in between people. So that's why I bring it up, because in my mind, one day, even if it's just my party, and even if I have to pay the artist to be there, I would like to see an event with truly the best, what I consider to be the best in the city at one event, celebrating each other's hip hop glory. De La Preme, Joseph Bills. These are the people I want to see at one event. And right now, I don't think it's able to happen. And I want to get to the root of it and fix it. But saying that's why I do this, these uncomfortable moments.
I love it.
You made, and you can start by saying more exactly what you said or what you were talking about. This is usually a heated conversation with me because a lot of people have some type of issue with either Respect the Underground, John Blaze, or Justice. And so maybe I can resolve it, maybe I can't. I think your issue's already been resolved, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of these things.
With me, I've never had an open problem with Justice nor John Blaze. Never. I was on the last hip hop festival. Even when I tried to back out of it, Justice, he was like, "Nope, you're not. No, you're on this motherfucker. I don't care what I gotta do. I rock with Justice." I did make a live video just recently that said I said some shit that I shouldn't have said, because I started off saying things like, what it was for me is that the hip hop festival this year, I'm like, dude, it's COVID. Like, you gonna really bring some motherfuckers together? Social distancing my ass, is gonna. For my artists, for my team, I didn't feel it because my team was inquiring about it, and for my team. This is my family.
You just made a decision not to be involved.
For my team, I didn't tell them not to. For my team, I felt it was a bad decision. Money-wise, lucratively. When you can spend that same amount of money on promo. But see, here's my issue. I should have said that to myself. To my team, and I should have talked to Justice about that, period. I made a live video about it, and DJ, that's my homegirl. She hit me, she was like, "Go, you was wrong. You shouldn't have did that." And you know what? I went back because at first I was saying, how I fuck with Justice, and then I caught a part where I did say, I felt it was fucked up, and so I was like, damn, I hit back. I was like, you right. I'm like, my bad, and I even left it on the post. I was like, you know what? You're fucking right. I was like, my bad. It was in the morning. I have no excuses for that.
So if you watch the video, it was in the comments, it was all there to see that you.
And I went back on her post and I talked to her, and we talked since then. But see, with me, it's always been because Blaze did something that me as a MC, I didn't respect, and I should have.
Let's talk about that because we talked about it off camera. Let's talk about that.
And me, I took that personally. Me.
Has he ever addressed it?
No.
To explain maybe why.
I didn't know it was him that released the song.
Right.
I didn't know. Right. I just heard it, and then I had Playboy calling me. That was the second time. Well, I didn't know he released a song, but
Playboy called you.
Well, that was.
I was gonna say he didn't.
So that was the second time when Jay Slug got into it. Him and Jay Slug got into it, but when Blaze released that, I didn't know it was Blaze, and I made a statement on Facebook saying that whoever that DJ is needs his ass whooped.
Right. Because that's how you felt.
Yeah, I felt that way.
Yeah,
I really felt that way.
It's understandable.
At the same time, this is somebody that I respect. You know, my little brother, Young Spider, he been giving him a chance, and you know, to fuck with him way back. And plus, my nephew Trap House. A lot of people don't know Trap House is my nephew. You know what I mean? So they were real close. So I always respected Blaze, but I didn't know it was him, and whether I knew it was him or not, I still felt the same way.
You just laid a blanket statement.
It was disrespectful. Like, how you gonna? I know it's hip hop, but how you gonna do this with an out of town dude? At least have somebody else that has rebuttals or something already with me. But I don't have the right to say how to tell you how to run your podcast.
That's true.
I don't have that right. You know what I mean? So that's where.
But you are welcome to your opinion.
But I took that post down, and then I apologize. I've seen him since then. You know, and I apologize to him, you know, every time I see him, I apologize to him because I felt fucked up about it.
Right.
You know, but our relationship hasn't been the same. It's been scarred. You know what I mean? So
it's tough. You know,
and I respect that.
Once it gets to that point, it's
at
tough.
At the same time, what you eat don't make me shit.
That's right.
You know, I've never needed anybody. You know, when I send you music, I send it because I love you to. So I'm not sending them shit else. You know what I mean? Because I know he's not going to play it. I know as soon as you see Charley Goo, he's going to be like, oh, this shit ain't nothing. I got to do with the coldest.
I send it with a different name just to test your theory.
I'm cool, bro. I'm cool. I love them. You know, and I fuck with your show. I fuck with anything RTU is doing. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know they don't like me. Wendy, you know, that's my girl.
You brought it up. You know, as soon as I mentioned, I know
they don't care for me.
I came with you the idea to do the on-site thing. Yeah. It's kind of a new feature.
The first thing I said, oh yeah, I know Justice.
The first thing you said was you kind of leaned into the thinking that somebody, you know, didn't want you in the studio. I just want you to know on record that it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it either.
Why is Jay-Z and Beyonce still going to work every day and they work over $1 billion already? What the fuck is the problem? We fell for the trap, bro. We're buying smaller houses that we can't even have cattle in, or have a garden in. You know, so we fell for the trap. We don't need lights. Take your ass to bed when it's dark. You know what I mean? We all fell for the trap. Oh, we need air conditioning. We need lights.
It's just more sound. You need a new TV. You need a new phone. They're trying to give me an iPhone 12. I'm fine with my iPhone 8. You know what I mean?
My shit's still. I don't even know what kind of phone I got.
It don't matter. They all do the same shit. That's the thing.
My shit makes phone calls. Like, I don't care.
I've been recording, just so
okay.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's get back to where we were at then. So we're wrapping up. I forgot where we were at. It doesn't matter. It's been a great talk here with Charley Goo. Artists from the Factory or Nothing Studios and Music Group. I know y'all got big things. Yo's got big things going. We'll wait till that announcement can be made. We won't talk about that today.
Right.
I want to wrap up with you. It's been a great talk. I apologize for the length of time, but I thank you for sitting down with me. It's been very entertaining. I'm sure everybody's going to love it. Yeah. Poverty Stricken is coming still in January sometime, or maybe the first quarter, should we say?
Somewhere in the first quarter.
First quarter, 2021. Poverty Stricken is the magnum opus, the main project, the first full-length project, the one that describes his life. You know, you always get the most bang for your buck from an artist's first project, and I think that's what we're getting from Charley Goo.
Yeah, first out.
I'll ask you the same question I ask everybody else. If you could snap your fingers and Thanos the world, change any one thing to your exact specifications, tomorrow, today, you can change whatever you want to change. One thing. What would Charley Goo change? Nothing?
No, not one thing at all. Because everything that happened is done for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's made me who I am today. And sitting here, living, breathing, I'm fine. You know, my family is healthy.
You have that kind of faith. I just want to highlight that takes real faith. Like, to me, when in the Christian faith, you're supposed to believe that God is in charge of everything. His will reigns supreme, and everything will be worked out in His time. So to me, that means that everything is perfect, just as it is right now.
I don't want to change it.
And that's what you're highlighting. I mean, you've got a heavy weight of your son dealing with a fentanyl addiction, but somewhere in you, you know that it's what for the best is going to happen, and he's going to take care of that, and it's all for the best. I think it takes a lot of faith and courage to think that way, Charley.
Without downs, it'll be no ups.
I tell people when Jesus was on the cross, that was God's plan.
His homies left him there.
As bad as it looked for him, and as much as he could have changed it with the snap of a fingers, our faith teaches us, and my faith taught me that he followed through with it because he believed in his heart it was God's plan.
You know what it taught me? That people that you rock with and that you love and think revere you will watch you get nailed to a cross and leave you there. It should have been enough for y'all to do something. But hey, just like the Africans didn't come get us when we got sold to the white man, I don't see no African ships coming to get us. But that's what it taught me. You got to have your own back. And that's between you and the Creator. It's not between you and your friends. You can't expect your friend to give you more than what you would give yourself.
Born alone, die alone.
Because I have trust issues. I don't trust me. You know what I mean? So somebody say, would you kill them for $1 million? Hell no. But if you tell me that you're going to give me 13 million tax free, and I'm not going to go to hell for it, I just may. You know what I mean? So me, I don't want to change nothing in my life. It's made me who I am. I'll be 48 January 3rd, minimum bullet wounds, no felonies. My kids are all by my wife.
Denzel teeth.
Yeah, nice teeth. My breath don't stink. My feet don't stink. I own more Paratops 10s than most of my friends do. Shout out to my homie Big Johnny Siggs. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Johnny Siggs, a fan of the Top Ten. His Top 10
that's
videos.
My guy. I rock with him.
Salute, I appreciate you shouting him out. One of my good friends back in Richmond, Virginia.
Good dude.
This has been The Mission on Site, a huge success. I want to say thanks first to Yo Westwood for allowing us to be in his studio, Charley Goo's home studio. I'd like to say thank you to John Bishop for doing the filming. The footage will be out tomorrow, if not today. Big shout out to the Big Doobie. Please follow him at the Real Big Doobie, the Real Big Doobie. Charley Goo, Charlie Irby on Facebook, Charley Goo on Instagram. The new project is Poverty Stricken. And you won't find a more thoughtful, a more thought-provoking artist, and someone who his lyrics really drip with his feelings and emotions. If you go back and listen to Bobby Boucher's Hard Times, if you listen to Wide Open makes me love my wife a little bit more. Yeah. That's how good that song is.
You know that song is about hip hop though.
It's about hip hop.
It's not about a woman.
But see, in my mind, I
never made a song for my wife.
In my mind, I pictured about my wife.
Yeah,
because that's what. But hip hop, of course, was early. But anyway, I appreciate you telling me that. Thank you. You don't. Hey, Wide Open. These songs, the way he expresses himself, it doesn't get more authentic than Charley Goo. So please be on the lookout for Poverty Stricken, coming in the first quarter 2021. The Mission will be back in Respect Underground Icon, HK Studios next week with great guests, and Timberwolf Bleeds next week. We'll be on site again in the future when I can work out another great location. Thank you to everybody that watched. This has been Charley Goo, Swerve 36, The Mission. We're out. Peace. Yeah. All right. Good.